Alright, yo, what's up? This is me, Asian Dave, aka David, here to make a video response to Kwonmunism, whatever, however you say his name. Like, he made a video about abortion, about the pro-life, pro-choice debate, and like, there were so many things you said in your video that was just completely like not true, and I don't know if um I'm not sure if you're just ignorant or if you're just or if you're intentionally lying. But I'm going to assume the best, and I'm just going to assume that you're just ignorant on this topic. I mean, there are a couple things that I did agree with you on, and I'm going to address those first. Things that I did agree with you on, I do know. One, I do agree that this is a very complex issue. Like, that's anyone who says that this is not a complex issue is flat out stupid and they don't know what they're talking about. Number two, um, I do agree that the focus shouldn't be on criminalizing abortion and trying to make people try and tell people, oh, you're gonna go to jail if you have an abortion. I mean, I do agree. I'm pro-life, so obviously I do want it to be illegal, but I don't think that should be our focus. And number three, um, I do agree with you that like what were you talking about? Oh, I do agree that the focus should be on helping the mother and supporting her and everything, and helping her come to the best decision that will ultimately help her and not hurt her in the end. Now, those are the three that I agree with you on. Now onto the stuff that I disagree with you on. First off, in the video, I noticed you kept on saying potential life, and that's a very deceptive terminology. Like to be honest, that's very very deceptive because you're over here assuming that it's not already a life when science has already proven that that baby is a human being at conception. I mean, that's no longer a question in the debate. And the pro-choice people who keep on propagating this term potential life, or they use other euphemisms as such as, oh, she's just terminating a pregnancy and stuff like that. That's not number one, that's intellectually dishonest. Number two, that's unethical. And number three, that's not gonna help the woman at all. No, it no, that baby is a human being, and therefore abortion is murder, plain and simple. And you misrepresented the pro-life side in your thing. You pretty much you say, oh, pro-lifers just say, oh, abortion is wrong, so therefore it shouldn't happen. Okay, that's half truth. But the reason why we say it's wrong is because murder is wrong. And that's pretty much the fundamental, like, one thing that both pro-lifers and pro-choicers agree on is that murder is wrong. They disagree on whether or not abortion is murder, but they both agree that murder is wrong. And that's why the pro-choicers are working so hard to, propagate this false idea that that baby is not a human being. Because if that baby was a human being, then then they have to acknowledge that they're essentially advocating murder of an innocent little baby too. But and how sick is that? Like um, I mean, as a matter of fact, I mean and if you think I'm just speaking out my ass, I actually work at a pregnancy center, so I know what I'm talking about. As a matter of fact, see this right here? This is actually uh, um the actual size of a 12-week-old baby. Notice how at only 12 weeks, the baby is actually fully developed. All that it's doing for the rest of the time it's in the mother's stomach is growing. But at only 12 weeks, the baby is fully developed. At 8 days, we've detected brain waves, and at 8 weeks, we've the baby's heart starts beating. Now let me ask you this: if we define death to mean um when the heart stops beating and there's no brain when the brain's not working, when does life begin? Yeah. And like I heard in the video you said you were a social work major. Well, I'm a philosophy major. I mean, I used to study social work because I used to be a social work major. So you and me kind of have common ground there. But so like my take on this whole thing is the morality aspect. I mean, is it right or is it wrong? And like obviously I'm saying it's wrong because it's murder. Murder is wrong, and everybody knows murder is wrong. But another thing you brought up, like you said, like and another thing I did agree, abortion does have significant consequences for the mother, like a lot of significant consequences. As a matter of fact, abortion is never safe. Number one, it kills the baby. That's not safe. Number two, it has not only numerous physical effects on the woman, but psychological effects too. As a matter of fact, there's a study out that says 6 out of 10 teenage girls who have an abortion end up committing suicide at least a year afterwards. Like 6 out of 10. Hmm. And then yeah, and like they've actually psychologists actually list post traumatic stress disorder or post abortion disorder, like, or I don't know how they word it, but like pretty much they post that as a psychological disorder now because they're realizing that abortion does have psychological um effects on the woman, and it also has physical too. I mean, there's countless women who have died because of having an abortion. Like, and you said that a lot of these abortion clinics are clean or whatever. That's not true. A lot of abortion clinics, they're not concerned with like having a clean environment. A lot of the utensils that they use are not sanitary. And as a matter of fact, Abby Johnson, who used to be a she used to manage 3 Planned Parenthood clinics in um in Texas. She even says that a lot of the stuff that they use are not sanitary, or a lot of stuff that they use are not sanitary. She even said that the doctor actually killed a girl that came into the pregnancy center, into their not the pregnancy center, came into their abortion clinic to get an abortion, and they just covered it up. And the reason why there's not more statistics out about this kind of stuff is because of that very reason. Because every time that happens, Planned Parenthood covers it up, and they're really good at covering their tracks. So that's why. But if you, I mean, it's out there. All you have to do is just like open up your eyes and look for it. Like put in the work. Don't just like assume everything's okay just because you don't see anything on the surface level. No, actually do the investigation and look into it. Planned Parenthood. There's a reason why Planned Parenthood is being shut down all across the nation. Like they're being exposed to for covering up statutory rape, for covering up for covering up prostitution, or the sex slave pretty much. Um, they're covering up, and they're also accepting racist donations too. I mean, there's many more. Like, if you want to know more, I mean, just go to liveaction.org. Or, yeah, www.liveaction.org. It's a pro-life organization, like in UCLA, that founded by her name's Lila Rose, and they part of their job, they actually do undercover operations on Planned Parenthood, and they're responsible for a lot of the for exposing a lot of the corrupt character of Planned Parenthood, and it's no wonder because Planned Parenthood's founder, Margaret Sanger, was one of the leading proponents of the eugenics movement, and she very adamantly targeted blacks. I mean, and Planned Parenthood's following suit, right, with their founder. But yeah, so yeah, it's not safe, and even though it's legal, that doesn't mean it's safe either. Like, Back in the day, slavery was legal. Would you say that was safe? But I don't know, I find it kind of ironic that the pro-choice people that advocate abortion and everything, like they use the same exact arguments that people back then that support slavery would say. Like it's the same thing. Like, I mean, it's the also like black people aren't human beings; they're the property of the owners, and if you don't like slavery, then don't own slaves. Fast forward that, now they're saying, oh, the baby is not a human; it's the property of the mother, and if you don't like abortion, then don't do abortions. Same exact thing. But yeah, and then finally, your last issue. You talked about what did you? Oh, you talked about the rape and incest issue. That's a common thing that pro-choicers like to bring up. They're like, oh, what if the woman is raped or they're pregnant because of incest? Blah 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 blah. Number one, according to Planned Parenthood's own statistic, only 1% of all pregnancies are due to rape and incest, or due to hard cases such as rape and incest, or the mother's life being in danger. And with the pro-choicers, or I like to call them pro-murderer people, because they like to paint people like me in a negative light, like anti-choice or whatever. So I say, you know what, you guys are pro-murder, flat out, bam. And you can call that however you want to call that, like, but that's what it is. Pro-life versus pro-murder. But yeah, um, like they like to propagate that. They're like, oh well, what like they talk about that, and they like to take that 1% and blow it way out of proportion into something that it's really not. It's not have. It's very rare, and like even in such a case as rape and incest, first off, like why would you like it's really unloving to encourage, because rape is already traumatizing at it as it is. So it's really unloving of you to encourage a woman to cause more trauma on herself by killing her baby. That seems illogical to me. And you're a social work major, so like it kind of shocks me that you would be that your thinking on this would be like inconsistent. But because abortion is just gonna add even more trauma onto her. No, what you should do is come alongside her and support her, love her, and care for her, help her get through this time. And then when she gives up the baby, or when it comes time for her to give birth to the baby, if she doesn't want the baby, she can give it up for adoption. Adoption's always the better option. I mean, if not, I mean, there's a reason why Planned Parenthood won't show their clients um, ultrasounds, because as soon as 9 out of 10 times when a woman sees an ultrasound, they will not have an abortion because they have a connection with their baby, and that's one of the most powerful things. I mean, Dr. or Bernard, I forgot what his name was. It's like Bernard Nathanson or something like that. I forgot. But anyways, there was this abortionist that it was a couple years ago that he ended up becoming pro-life after he seen an ultrasound where he actually injected this saline injection into this woman, and he saw in the ultrasound the baby pulling back and trying to fight off the saline injection, trying to fight for its life essentially. After that, he like realized, he was like, "What have I been doing?" And he became pro-life because of that. Like, I mean, this is like it's very cut and dry. I mean, like I'm gonna show this again to you. 12-week-old baby right here. Like, is this what you really think you want to kill? But and for all you ladies out there, like just take a good look at that. I mean, if you're considering abortion, that's what you're that right there is is what's inside of you, and that's what you're killing. Yeah. Um. But anyways, back to the rape and incest issue. I got off on a rabbit trail. No, the so-called illegitimate father should be should be criminalized. He should be thrown in jail, given the death penalty, whatever. Like, I mean, punish him severely for doing what he did, because that's heinous what he did. But don't punish the baby for what the father did. That's like illogical too. But yeah. Anyways, I talked long enough about this, so yeah. Like, so comment below, rate this, whatever. Let me know what y'all think about this. Alright, peace out, God bless, deuces.